This is Travis Wayne Goodsell. I was looking for, can't remember what it involved in regards to service of process to the LDS Church. I think I was trying to find out, yeah, that's what it was, if I have to pay for each successive motion in the case after filing the complaint, because I thought I had to pay the whole time, even though I was approved for informa pauperis. It appears that I can serve the church directly if it's under the specific law of waiving service, which is very interesting. It's Rule 4 for summons. And so A is the contents, B is the issuance. The plaintiff may present a summons to the clerk for signature and seal. If the summons is properly completed, the clerk must sign and seal and issue it to the plaintiff for service on the defendant. A summons or a copy of the summons that is addressed to the multiple defendants must be issued for each defendant to be served. And I already filed the motion for service of process, but the Judge Furse, who has been fired for allowing Gaddy v. COP to continue, was then assigned to my case, and she's not doing a beep, beep, beeping, beep, beep thing. And so I'm stuck. What do I do now? Do I have to serve them myself? I don't have the money. How do I do this? And I found somebody that is doing that, and I was doing the GoFundMe account, which I got a little bit. I thank those guys. It appears, though, that I'm just going to let those sit until GoFundMe returns it to you, it looks like. Because I think I can bypass the government failing to give the order, as I don't have the money. C is for service. In general, a summons must be served with a copy of the complaint. The plaintiff is responsible for having the summons and complaint served within the time allowed, 120 days, and must furnish the necessary copies to the person who makes service. By whom? Number 2, any person who is at least 18 years old and not a party may serve a summons and complaint. So it can't be me under the general rule. It's supposed to be by a marshal or someone specifically appointed, as ordered with the motion by the judge. At the plaintiff's request, the court may order that the service be made by a United States Marshal or Deputy Marshal or by a person specifically appointed by the court. Court must so order if the plaintiff is unauthorized to proceed in forma pauperis. If the plaintiff is authorized to proceed, it's a must. It says so right here. Under 28 U.S.C. 1915. It's a must. She's in direct must so order if the plaintiff is authorized to proceed in forma pauperis. I am authorized to proceed in forma pauperis. Son of beep, 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 beep. Unbelievable. So here we get to waiving service. 1. Requesting a waiver. An individual, corporation, or association that is subject to service, that's me, under Rule 4E, F, and H, which is E is serving an individual within a jurisdiction of the United States. F is serving an individual in a foreign country, and H is serving a corporation, partnership, or association. Okay, so waiving service. An individual that is subject to service has a duty to avoid unnecessary expenses of serving the summons. And that's what I'm supposed to do. Summons must be served by the plaintiff. The plaintiff may notify, not the U.S. Marshals, not somebody 18 or older who's not a party. The plaintiff may notify such a defendant that an action has been commenced and request that the defendant waive service of a summons. I am supposed to submit the complaint because this is what it's supposed to contain. Be in writing, be addressed to the individual defendant, or for a defendant subject to service, to an officer, a managing or general agent, or any other agent authorized by appointment or by law to receive service of process. So it'd be the Brinkman, Hinckley, Maxwell, whatever Mormon names they have as their lawyers across the street from Temple Square. Name of the court where the complaint was filed. Be accompanied by a copy of the complaint. See, they're getting served by me. 2 copies of the waiver form. Okay. Appended to this Rule 4. And a prepaid means for returning the form. So I have to put in a self-addressed stamped envelope. Who does it get returned to? Does it get returned to me and then I submit it to the court? Or is it addressed to the court? D, inform the defendant using the form the consequences of waiving and not waiving, and I'll get to that in a moment. I have it up on the link as well. F, give the defendant a reasonable time of at least 30 days after the request was sent, or at least 60 days if sent to a defendant outside. No, it's 30 days, which is the normal time for the defense to respond once they get served. G, be sent by first-class mail or other reliable means. So the post office, because that's an official government delivery service. You are a federal officer. I was a federal officer when I was arrested. And so that's one of the crimes that the church committed against me. They were arresting a federal officer. 2, failure to waive. If the defendant located fails without good cause to sign and return the waiver requested by a plaintiff located, return where? To the court or me? The court must impose on the defendant the expenses later incurred in making service, stamps, and the reasonable expenses including attorney's fees of any motion required to collect those service expenses. Your Honor, it would have cost me several $1,000,000 for attorney's fees. I don't think I can get away with that. But, time to answer after a waiver. Defendant, timely answer. Results of filing a waiver. When the plaintiff files a waiver, proof of service is not required. I just have to mail it. And these rules apply as if a summons and complaint had been served at the time of filing the waiver. Why didn't they instruct me on this? They know I'm not a lawyer. 5. Jurisdiction and venue not waived. Waiver service, no waive objection. Serving an individual within a jurisdiction of the United States. Okay. This is a corporation, though. So we need to go down to H. Serving a corporation, unless federal law provides otherwise, or the defendant's waiver has been filed, a domestic or foreign corporation, or is subject to suit under a common name, must be served in a manner prescribed by serving a copy of the summons and complaint to an officer. This would be the lawyer firm. Agent authorized by appointment or by law to receive service of process. If the agent is also mailing a copy of each of it to the defendant at a place not within any manner prescribed or except person, whatever. They're not telling me what self-addressed stamped envelope is to be returned to. So let's see if the waiver of service helps me. Okay, so plaintiff v. defendant, civil action number, name of the plaintiff's attorney or unrepresented plaintiff. Yeah, that would be me. I have received your request to waive service of summons. So this is the church, the lawyers for the church. They have received my request to waiver service of summons in the action along with a copy of the complaint, 2 copies of this waiver form, and a prepaid means of returning one side to me. Why didn't they put that in the law? Alright, so it's self-addressed to me. So, okay. I agree to save the expense of serving a summons and complaint in this case. So if they disagree, they're going to have to explain themselves to the court and justify it. I understand that I will keep all defenses or objections to the lawsuit, the court's jurisdiction, and the venue of the action, but that I waive any objections to absence of summons of service of service. So, my God. All right. I'll have it out in the mail tomorrow. Let's see, they also have to say, I also understand that I must file and serve an answer or motion under Rule 12 within 60 days. It's 30 days. They put 60 days. Oh, man, they're going to screw me over with further delays. I just read 30, right? You all heard 30. And here it's saying 60. If I fail to do so, a default judgment will be entered against me or the entity I represent. Another default judgment. I've already got one against the judge. Okay. And then the small print, they list Rule 4, saying what good causes would be. Does not include a belief that the lawsuit is groundless. So they can't claim, hey, we're a religion, you can't touch us. That's not a good cause. So yeah, only we're not the people in the lawsuit. Why are you sending it to us? That would be the good cause. Or that the court has no jurisdiction. It's the wrong court. It's supposed to go to this court. So again, church has no claim for good cause to deny this. We're going to wait 60 days from tomorrow. Date when the request was sent. So I think I put that in. 60 days from the date when this request was sent. Yeah, sent, not delivered. So I put in that date right there. 28th of February. God. They're just wasting my time, fooling around. The judge must give the order, and she failed. And so now I finally found this. Alright, let's print this up. I already saved it to my files, but I'm most likely going to have to unplug and plug back in my printer. Upgrading service is causing some problems. Alright, print. What's going on? The church invests in HP printers, by the way, in case you missed those videos I did by Business Insider. I already have the envelopes. I had been planning to publish books here at home and send them out through the mail. I was going to do a ring binding process, but failed on that. Alright, so tomorrow the postman will be delivering the service of process, waiver of service of summons, to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Unbelievable! This was available to me the whole time, but the judge is ordered in the law to have ordered the service of process through the marshal service, and she failed. Unbelievable. I've had to go through so much crap. God. I think I have, yeah, I've got the whole guide with all the rules in it. So I should have rule 4. But I'm gonna, yeah, I should copy and paste this. The waiving of service. So frustrating. The corruption is just so intense. I just can't believe she's just so negligent of her job. Yes, she got fired. Yes, it was because of the church. But to take it out on me? Unbelievable. Alrighty. So there's the rules, there's the form, and then we'll save as. It now forces me into this nonsense. Summons, waiver of service. If I'd have known this, but I shouldn't have had to. The judge was ordered. Must be issued. Must be ordered. Alrighty. The church is now going to be officially served, guys, tomorrow. So all of you enemies of me, protectors of the church, it's a federal law to destroy the mail or intercept the mail. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, I'll need to get the legal firm. LDS Church legal firm address. Curtin McConkie. Okay. 50 East, South Temple, number 400, Salt Lake City, Utah, 84111. It's open. Friday. Would it be open Friday? Let's find out. Friday, 8 to 5:30. Yep. It'll take a couple of days. I'll have to make sure that the amount of postage is appropriate. I did buy a weighing scale for the books to publish, so I can measure it and then go to UPS or USPS to find out how much I have to pay, put stamps on. Or I can just take a trip to Redwoods Post Office. Okay. Now I should be able to print this without issue. Let's see, it would be under videos, under captures. Summons rules, that'd be the one. And print. That seems to have it. Print. What a mess. Boop, 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 boop. The corruption I have to deal with. Alrighty. So a month before April General Conference, the church will be served. So if they're allowed to continue to have church on April Conference, it's likely they're not going to hold it because of the coronavirus threat. Which they may say, well, we'll hold it online. You can watch us online or at your stake centers with the satellite. But we've got to keep people away from us. So it won't be held at the conference center this year. Now, alrighty. Let's print up that summons thing that I just did. So for those of you who did donate, thank you. Like I said again, it appears I don't need you. So I'm not going to collect the money. I'm just going to let it sit there until the time lapses, and you'll get it returned to you. I think that's how it works. Print. Unless you signal to me otherwise, but what am I going to use it for? Other than to give charity to people. Whew. Isn't this exciting? Just like Christmas. It's the end of the world Christmas. The church is now served. Tomorrow. Tomorrow will serve you. Tomorrow. Yeah, I'll go in tomorrow to the post office and talk to hand it to the lady behind the counter. And you'd be interested to know it's at the Crossroads Mall in Taylorsville. My name. So the church will be served by he who is from the Crossroads at the Crossroads Mall. Pretty cool. Alrighty. All this time. I'm going to be pissed the rest of the day now.